All right, what's up guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, that's right, you see it on the screen here, black yellow koala. I have to say, my favorite color combination in the game is black and yellow. And for anyone who's been following this channel for long enough, you would know we went through an entire arc on this channel of black, yellow, Linlin, not black, yellow, Luffy, black, yellow, Linlin. So ever since then, I have been looking for a leader to replace black, yellow, Linlin. Not that I could ever replace her in my heart, right? But just something to play in the current, more modern era of the One Piece trading card game. You know, sometimes you got to say goodbye to the old technology and embrace the new stuff. And black, yellow, koala, I think is kind of that for now. Now, we have seen some spoilers for the future, you know, so spoiler right now, guys, spoiler warning, but it looks like there's going to be a new black-yellow leader coming out in OP-14, and we will for sure be messing around with that when it comes out, okay? So that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and hop into today's video. I'm going to break it down for you so you know what you're getting into. First things first, we're going to check out the deck list, show you guys what I'm working with, show you guys what I'm cooking up, and it's going to be for OP-13. Okay, guys? If I didn't already mention that, we're going to be building Black Yellow Koala geared more for OP-13. Okay? So we'll check out the deck list first. After that, we'll head over to the sim. We got 3 different games to go over on the sim today, and then we will finish up. We will wrap everything up with going over the deck list one more time, and I'll tell you guys what I think about this leader Koala moving forward. All right? So I will have everything time-stamped in the general description as usual, and I'll have all relevant deck lists and links and stuff like that in the comment section below. If you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those down in the comment section below, or hop on the VV Theory Discord. Link will be in the channel description. Today's video is brought to you by Nin Garden, and pre-orders are now open for 4 new playmats, including Berserk, Absolute Ruler, Chaos Crew, and Green Fury. They also carry apparel, like the Kings of Heart tee and matching pin. Plus, for this month only, take part in their Halloween Mystery Playmat sale, which comes with 10 free card sleeves with your order. And don't forget to use the code, the VV Theory, at the checkout to get 8% off on your next order. Alright guys, let's go ahead and break down the deck list, starting off with the leader. Koala is a black-yellow, 5,000 power, 4 life, Revolutionary Army Dressrosa type leader with the effect, when this leader attacks your opponent's leader, if you have 2 or more characters with a cost of 8 or more, draw 1 card. Okay, and then we have once per turn, when your opponent plays a character with an original cost of 8 or more, or when your opponent plays a character through an effect of a character, you may activate this effect. Your opponent adds the top card of their life cards to their hand. Okay, now we're going to go through each card in the entire deck, so if you're a newer player or if you don't know what all these cards do, be sure to pause and read what each one of them does. Is it what each one of them do? What each one of them does? I'm not sure. You'll help me out in the comment section below. Okay, so we're running 4 Koala, the Searcher. This can also search up Nico Robin. Running 3 Emporio Ivankov, 4 Hack, 4 Morley, 3 Karasu, 3 Nico Robin, 2 of the new OP-13 Secret Sabo, 4 of the 2K counter Sabo from PRB02, the blocker, running 2 8-cost Secret Sabo from OP-07, running 4 Monkey D Dragon, the 8-cost Black Dragon, running 3 Karasu, running 4 of the 2K counter Kuma and 4 of the Secret Kuma, and then we're running 4 of Captain's Assemble, the event, and then 2 Waxing Fist. So guys, the deck is pretty straightforward. There is a card that I'm sure some people are going to ask about just because it's a very good card in OP-13. It's a good card in general, but it's definitely a very good card in OP-13. I'm not running Stussy, and it's kind of on purpose because I don't have a lot of little one-cost searchers to just throw away with this effect. I mean, hey, if you have to, you know, you'll throw away whatever you have to throw away to get rid of their biggest character if it's going to win you the game, obviously. However, I'm not seeing this card in the deck. We don't have... One thing that makes this card runnable in Red-Black Sabo is, of course, Garp. Let me bring that up real quick, guys. So if you're running Red-Black Sabo, this card, Garp here, makes that deck very strong because it helps your searchability. It says if your leader is Luffy, Sabo, or Ace, you can do a top 4 search for a character, or excuse me, for a card that costs 3 or more. Okay, so that's really strong, but we don't have access to this card. First of all, we're not even red. And second of all, our leader's Koala. It's not Ace, Luffy, or Sabo. Okay, so we can't really mess with that, unfortunately. Let me bring back up our Revo search real quick, guys. Whoops. So, we're not running Stussy because we're not running Garp. Now, yes, that does hurt. I wish we had a few better ways to deal with characters, like really big characters on the board. But at the same time, we're doing a pretty good job. If we're utilizing our searchers properly, like the Koala here and Captain's Assemble, then we're going straight for these dragons. And here's the nice part about these searchers. It puts everything else you didn't get in the trash, right? So this Koala, you do a top 3 search. You can grab Nico, Robin, or a Revolutionary Army type card. It goes to your hand. The rest go to the trash, and the same thing with Captain's Assemble. Okay, so they're help filling up your trash. Okay, and a lot of people, I think in my previous Black Yellow Koala video, I think I did it about 2 months ago now, I can't remember. But a lot of people were saying, why run this card? And honestly, I think it's just a good card to run out when we're stuck going first. And one of the big things I try to do with this version of the deck here is I wanted to have a good going first curve. And that looks like this. Turn 1 Koala, or the Searcher event, obviously. And then turn 2, we have Emporio Ivankov or Karasu, the 3 cost, the yellow Karasu. And then on our turn 3, on 5, of course, we can play out Hack or some 4 cost card, or we could develop this Karasu. And then once we get to 7 and 9, that's fine, because on 7 we develop our 6 cost characters, and on 9 we develop our dragon. So that's kind of the idea here, is I needed something to just kind of curve out with. And it was working out pretty well. We're going to look at some games from, from OP-13 later in this video, and I think it was working out pretty well. Still definitely some room for improvement, but it was doing okay, all things considered. Now, one thing I think that is like really, really strong about Koala in OP-13 is, and I think Bandai is actually trending in this direction, I think, like especially with what we're seeing from OP-14. Sorry, guys, more spoilers here. But in OP-14, we're seeing blue-yellow Boa Hancock, and, Boa has life burn built in. It's in a different way than Koala, but I think that might be the way to help put yellow on the map. Life gain is nice to an extent. It's not great in my personal opinion. It's a good thing to have access to. It is part of yellow's core identity, but I think burning my opponent's life in a more practical sense, that might be a better option moving forward. We'll have to see, because, remember, guys, in the game of One Piece, you do still have to develop a board. You still have to interact with your opponent. Okay, so gaining life and burning life, those are very good, like, just in general, like, it's a nice thing to have access to. However, if we're not developing a board or in some way interacting with our opponent's side of the board, well, guess what? Now we're getting run over, and all the extra life we gained didn't matter, and all the life we burned from our opponent, we couldn't do anything with, right? So that's kind of the idea there. So that's what makes, first of all, it's what makes Black Revo so strong right now in general going into OP-13. Red-Black Sabo's doing pretty well, but I think Black-Yellow Koala could be a sleeper in OP-13 because we have Dragon. Monkey D. Dragon in Black-Yellow Koala specifically allows us to develop an 8-cost 8K, which is very relevant. 8,000 power attacking a 6,000 power characters like Ace. That's a thumbs up. Same thing with Blue-Purple Luffy. And then we can develop a Kuma off of that. So we're flooding the board and filling up our trash the way we need to with this trash effect here for the next dragon next turn if we have a follow-up dragon. But then we're gaining a life, right? So we're playing out an 8-cost 8K. We're playing out a 6-cost 7K, which gets treated as an 8-cost the first turn we play it with the on-play effect. And then we're gaining a life. So that's really strong. That's going to allow us to battle for the board. And probably what's most important is think about it. You just played out an 8-cost character in this example. Well, that means your opponent is about to play out an 8, 9, or 10 cost character, more than likely. Okay, awesome. We can just burn their life now with Koala, okay, with the leader effect. Okay, so other than that, everything's pretty straightforward here, guys. We are running 12 2K counters. We're running 4 of the PRB02 blocker Sabo, running 4 Kuma, 4 Morley. We have plenty of blockers in the deck. We have 10 just little chump blockers in Emporio Ivankov, Karasu, and Hack. But then we also have 5 more blockers over here. Well, I guess even more than that. We have 9 blockers more over here with the 2K counter Sabo. But we have Nico, Robin, and the 6-cost Secret Sabo from OP-13. Now, I will say this, yes, there's not a lot of extra stuff that I've included in this deck from OP-13. It's really just this, mainly it's just this card Sabo here. But still, I think this card does benefit the deck, benefit this leader Koala by quite a bit. Because it's another 6-cost play we have access to now. Look at this deck, guys. We have 11, right, excuse me, I can't do math. We have 9 6-cost characters to play out. We're running 4 Kuma, we're running 3 Nico Robin, and 2 Sabo. Now, again, we do still have this Sabo over here, but generally speaking, guys, you do not want to play this card out. It is an excellent card to play out if you need to with Dragon, if you just need a blocker and you don't have the Sabo or Nico Robin in your trash. But I would almost say that Hack and Karasu are even better to cheat out. Well, maybe not Karasu, but Hack is probably better to cheat out than the Sabo, unless there is, there's one, example where maybe playing out the Sabo's better against Imu. Imu has a character. Let me type in Elder. His name's Mars. Saint Marcus Mars. Guys, check out that mustache. That's what we're going for right there. Do y'all see his mustache? Look at that, guys. Now that's what we're talking about. Okay, now I know the new character we're going for. No, I'm just kidding, but seriously. But this guy, Saint Marcus Mars, on play, you may trash 1 card from your hand to KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a base cost of 5 or less. So in other words, that can hit Hack, because even though he's an 8-cost character, when he's in play, if your leader's Revo Army, it doesn't matter. Marcus Mars goes off of a base cost of 5 or less. Well, Sabo is a base cost of 6. So that can actually get around that play if you need to. Okay, but other than that, you're going to go for Nico Robin, you're going to go for Sabo, or you're going to go for Kuma. Just to be honest, guys, I'm just trying to be as straightforward and as honest with you guys, as transparent as possible. These are the cards you're trying to play out off of the Dragon, is the Kuma, the Nico Robin, or the Sabo. Worst case scenario, you'd play out like this Sabo, or this Hack, or like a Karasu or something. Okay, last but not least, I am running 2 of this Sabo. This card can be kind of clutch. I wish there was more ways to have cost reduction built into this deck. I think it could make this card unbelievable in Black Yellow Koala, or probably just in Black Revo Army in general. But unfortunately, we just don't have that yet. But yeah, I really, really wish that we had more ways, more practical ways to reduce the cost of characters within this kind of deck of like Black Yellow Koala, because you have to be careful moving cards around in here, guys. If you move too many cards around, well, if you move too many cards around, you're just going to lose the consistency of the deck. Now, there are cards we can potentially run, like Haute Couture Patchwork, which is a card from, I think it's from Dressrosa. Let me see if I can even find it. Here it is. It's a Tantata Tribe Dressrosa type event. It has give up to one of your opponent's characters -3 cost during this turn, then up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 0 isn't set as active during the next refresh phase, and trigger allows you to draw 2, trash 1. Another card we could potentially just run over, well, excuse me, guys, let me finish my thought there. With the Haute Couture Patchwork, what I'm trying to say is we could potentially include that card in the deck, and if we choose to do that, maybe we go like -1 Ivankov, -1 Karasu, just to include that. Another option is we can run the 3-cost Bello Betty 2K counter that came out in OP-12 with Black Yellow Koala. This Bello Betty is a 3-cost 4K 2K counter character with trash 2 cards from the top of your deck when attacking. Trash 2 cards from the top of your deck, give up to one of your opponent's characters -2 costs during this turn. However, that does require setup, and we don't typically want to play out a Bello Betty going first like this. Like, we don't want to do that, right? I would rather develop an Imperial Ivankov, which is a blocker, and it fills up my trash just right away, and I'm not afraid to just block out with it right away. However, it is still a card worth considering, because it wouldn't even take the spot of Emporio Ivankov. It would actually probably take the spot of something like, 1 or 2 of these Kumas, or maybe, maybe 2 Kumas and a Morley or something, and maybe we'd run 3 of them or something along those lines. But whatever the case is, this is one option for cost reduction. And then last but not least, if we do want to add more interaction to the deck, we have access to Ursus Shock. This might be a better call over the 8-cost Sabo, but I do like Sabo quite a bit, because if you can develop an 8-cost 9K body, that thing is hanging out on the board probably for the rest of the game. That's a massive character. It's very hard to deal with. Okay, if they want a Red Rocket for 6, that's fine, because now you only have 4 Dawn left for your turn to work with, and we might follow up with something like a Dragon, playing the card that we trashed from the Sabo's effect. You see what I'm saying? So it all depends on the situation, though. And Ursus Shock, now this is a 4 cost that can KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. However, if you have a character with a cost of 8 or more, you may instead KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less, and the trigger has a draw 1 and trash the top card of your deck. So this card is another great card to include into the deck with Sabo if you want to. Like, or, you know, you can kind of replace the Sabo with the Ursa Shock if you want to build a little bit lower to the ground. And yes, they are both bricks, that's for sure. However, I don't think it's too bad in the case of either of these because, you know, the Sabo you want to play out right on curve if you can to deal with whatever's on the board. Otherwise, you can start trashing it with effects like Nico, Robin, or Kuma. What else? Now, speaking of bricks, we are running about 12 in the deck, I believe. Let me see. We're running 5 of these up here, these blockers. So 5 blockers, 4 searchers. So that puts us at 9 plus 4, so 13, 15. Excuse me, running 15 bricks in the deck. So we do want to keep an eye on that. We have a lot of blockers in here, a lot of 2K counters, and we even have a 1-cost 4K in the deck potentially. So we have other options there as well. But we need to keep an eye on that for bricks if you go to make any adjustments. All right, guys, that's about it. Let's go ahead and head over to the sim and see this deck in action. All right, guys, first game up we have against Red Purple Roger. Just to kind of break down what we have for today, we have a game versus Red Purple Roger, and then Black Emu, and then Red Blue Ace. Okay, guys, those are the matchups we have lined up for today. Okay, so let's do this. Volume is off. Let's get the speed on 2x, and here we go. Okay, so I think we're going to prefer going second in every single matchup. If we can go second, that is what we would prefer. So that way we can go searchers early on, like what you see right now, into a 4-Dawn hack or some type of 3-cost play or 4-cost play, whatever, into a 6-cost. We have plenty of 6-cost plays into our 8-cost dragon. Okay, so they're going to load up and attack in. We'll just take that. We're swinging for 5. We play out the hack, and we're going to pass the turn back. They're going to play out a Douglas Bullet. The Roger's going to play out a Douglas Bullet here. We're going to take that hit. We're not going to use the hack just yet. And then we're actually going to develop a Nico Robin, trashing a card requiring our opponent to trash 2 cards. I would have attacked first, but I wanted to be able to draw a card. That's why we didn't attack first and then play out the Robin. We wanted to play out the Nico Robin, so that way we could draw a card with our leader's effect. Okay, they're going to swing for 9. Okay, well, if that's the case, I'm just going to remove one of their 3-cost characters here. And now we have an 8-Dawn turn follow-up with a Sabo. We're probably going to trash the 6-cost Sabo for the 8-cost here, getting rid of their board, attacking for 5 into 7. That won't do anything, but we got to draw a card. And now we're probably just going to swing in for 7. They probably think we made a mistake there. We were just trying to draw a card. Okay, 7 into 7. Let's see if they choose to take this. They only have 5 cards left in their hand. All right, 10-Dawn turn. Let's see what they choose to do with this. Okay, here we go. Just waiting on our opponent here. Next turn, we have an easy 8-turn follow-up, and we even have 2 searchers to go through first to fill up our trash and get everything we want in our hand and in our trash. Okay, I think it'd be better. Okay, they're going to play out Goldie Roger. Okay, well, that's going to cost them a life card, guys. They just lost a life by playing that out. They're going to swing 9 into 7. We are absolutely going to defend that with a 2K counter and a 1K counter, and now it's going to go back to us. They're a 9,000 power character for the turn, which is not a big deal. We can deal with that. We're going to swing for 5. Okay, there's a Kuma. It's unfortunate that I didn't play out the Searcher first and hit that Kuma there, but that's okay. We're going to play out a Kuma now. Okay, very nice. We see the Kuma, so we're going to grab a 2K counter so we can play the Kuma from our trash. We're going to play out a Koala. That was a little bit greedy. I think I actually should have left 1 Dawn active, so that way I could have kept, you know, a Dawn active for the 1-cost event in my hand. Okay, so we're actually going to play out the Nico Robin. Never mind, guys. We're playing out the Nico Robin. I'm trying to hit my opponent's hand. We're going to trash a hack from hand. We're going to swing for 9. This will probably get a card out of hand. Seems good, and now they're going to pass it back to us. Or, excuse me, we're going to pass it back to them. So I think another thing they could have done there is maybe just take that hit, and then this turn they could go for a all-in attack with Roger, but that's obviously not going to help them, guys. I can get out of one of the attacks, and I have 2 life, and then I can just win on the crackback. So they're kind of just in a terrible spot. Okay, they play out Shanks. Playing out Shanks changes things. They're going to go 10 into 8. I can go 2K, 1K to get out of this, and then 2K, 2K. Actually, yeah, and then 2K, 2K, 1K to get out of the Shanks attack. Very nice. So now let's see what they do. They're going to go into it, and we can get out of this attack as well. And then I can go all in for lethal next turn. 7 into 5, we're obviously going to take that. We'll activate the main effect there. Sure, I guess we'll get a dragon, trashing the rest, and here we go. So, guys, they are now... okay, so pause. Let's do a little bit of lethal calculations here, a little bit of lethal math. If I swing for 9, that's 2 cards out of hand or their blocker, but they're going to have to use the 2 cards from hand, or else we swing everything in. So 9 into 7, they're going to have to give us 2 cards from hand, and then we'll go 9 more into 7. That'll be the last 2 cards in hand, and then we'll connect for 2 7s, and that's game, right? So this is pretty much a checkmate at this point, guys. There's no way through. Or there's no way to survive, I should say. Okay, so swing for 9, they gave us 2 cards. Swing for 9, okay, they didn't even have enough to get out of that, so now we're just going to swing for 9, and then we're going to swing for 9 more. Either way, good game to my opponent. That was a fun one. They were in a very tough spot there, and notice they did have the Goldie Roger, but like I said, guys, it didn't matter. They played out the 10-cost Shanks. They were going to lose a life card regardless from playing out a 10-cost character, and then they're going to be able to swing in. Remember, we had 2 life. So when they attack in with the Goldie Roger, the leader, we were just going to 2K, 1K out of that, and then it's going to be game over on the crackback. Okay, good game to my opponent. Let's move on to the next one. So that was against Red Purple Roger. Now we have the game versus Black Imu. Okay, volume's off. Let's get the speed on 2x. Here we go. Okay, now going second against Imu is half the battle. Okay, guys, going second against Imu is half the battle. All right, they choose to take that hand, whatever they have there, and now it's going to be our turn. After they do some type of search, maybe. Okay, they do have the, they trashed a card from hand to draw a card with their leader's effect. Okay, we're going to play out the Koala. We're going to fix our hand a little bit here. I'm looking for bigger cards from my trash, though, so I can play them out with the dragon. Okay, so it's back to my opponent's turn here. What are they going to do? Maybe just attack in. There's not a whole lot of 3-Dawn plays they can do because a lot of their stuff is 4 cost, 6 cost, 7 cost, and higher. Yeah, they're going to just swing for 8. Okay, they're going to swing in for 8. We're going to take it. We're down to 3 life, but we did draw a nice 6-cost target from that. We're going to swing for 5. I'm just trying to poke cards out of my opponent's hand. That's all we're trying to do here. Okay, and they do counter out. We play out a hack, and we're going to pass the turn back. They're going to pay 3 and use the use the stage to play out the Saint J. Garcia Saturn, and they are going to fix their hand. They grab a Workury, and now they're going to swing in for 7. They only have 2 cards in their trash here, guys. I'm probably going to block and just get rid of their St. J. Garcia Saturn. I want to get their threats off the board. I want to keep their board as low as possible, so that's why we did that. Okay, I'm going to swing for 5, and then we're going to play out this Sabo. Again, I didn't even play out the Sabo first. I wanted them to counter out. They didn't counter out, so it is what it is. I'm trying to make them counter out as much as possible. I want to keep their hand size as low as possible. I don't want them to actually draw cards from life, but we do have to at least get some type of interaction with our opponent there. We have to get some type of response from them. Okay, 7-Dawn turn. They finally get a Saint Shauria. They trash a 5 Elders, and they drew, hopefully I reveal it over on the right. Looks like I'm not showing it. Whatever it is, they drew a card from the Saint Shauria, then they trashed the Saint Shauria with the leader effect to draw another card. They're going to play out a Saint Shepherd Jupiter. We're going to go ahead and block for 7 and 1K out of that. We want to keep our life as high as possible against Imu because they're going to start attacking in for some very big numbers. Okay, we're going to play out the dragon. Excuse me, guys. We're going to play out the dragon, and we're going to attach a Dawn to our leader with the Sabo's effect. The dragon cheats out a Karasu here, and now I'm going to be able to attack in from here. Okay, I don't have a lot of great targets in my trash. That's why I grabbed the Karasu. I was hoping to attack their hand before they get to their 10-Dawn turn, but if they have a St. Marcus Mars, they're just going to deal with that Karasu every time. Okay, they play out a Venus Juro for 3. Okay, that was with the stage effect. Now let's see what they choose to do. They only have 9 cards in their trash. That's what I'm showing right there. And remember, guys, the Venus cannot do the cost reduction unless you have 10 or more cards in your trash. Okay, this is not good. They're probably going to go for my lead, or excuse me, I thought they were going to go for my Sabo. I think they should have been going for the Sabo here. They're just trying to put pressure on me. And that makes sense, but I'm going to block out of all of this. They're going to go 7 into 5. They'll reduce the power of my Sabo, but it doesn't matter. They're not attacking into it. So I'm going to 2K, 1K and get out of that. I want to keep my hand size, or excuse me, my health as high as possible. Okay, well, guys, they have 4 cards in hand, so it doesn't even matter if I get a Nico Robin in this situation. However, we did just get a dragon, seeing a Kuma and a Nico Robin from that. Okay, here we go, guys. We are going to go ahead and play out. I think we're going to attack first with this Sabo for 7, because I would rather attack into their leader with my Koala in order to draw a card, just like that. Okay, very nice, very nice. So we attack in for 6 here. They take, or excuse me, they 2K counter out. We're going to play out a dragon. We're going to return 3 cards to the bottom of the deck. and then we're probably going to play out the Kuma here, guys, because the Nico Robin, it can't hit their hand. However, it is nice to put down a blocker, and we choose to just put down a blocker. Never mind, guys. I decided I'd rather just have the blocker there. I think playing out the Kuma might have been a smarter play, though. But for whatever reason, I would rather have a blocker right here. I guess that makes sense because I figured they're going to do the 10 cost play here. Okay, they're going to play out a St. Topman Mercury here, or Workery. Okay, interesting. Oh, they're doing that because they don't have one in their trash. Very nice. So they played that out for 4, and now they attack in, and now they should eat the same. They should, with the leader effect, eat up one of their cards on the board to draw another card, and then use this 10 cost effect. But they did burn a life there, guys, from my leader's effect. They fill out their board. We knew that was coming. And this is why I got the Nico Robin, in case I need to block out of too many aggressive attacks at my leader or at the board. Okay, and I do have literally 9,000 power encounter in hand. I have 2 life. I have this blocker. We're doing just fine. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So they swing 7 into 5. I'm going to block and 2k counter out of that. I want to keep hack in my hand in case I need that next turn. Okay, they go 5 into 5. I'm going to 2k counter out. Now, one card I do know from their search, I think it is a 1k counter. I do know that one of their cards in hand is a 1k counter from the Saturn search. And I think we're going for it here, guys. I think we're just going to go swing 9, swing 9. Actually, we might just go even swing 8. Swing 8 would force their 1 cost event out of hand if they have one. Okay, so swinging for 8. Let's see. Okay, they did. They did have a never existed. Okay, we'll swing for 8 more. Let's see if he has another one. Because like I said, guys, I know one of the cards in his hand for a fact from the search. Okay, well, here we go. They take that hit. Very nice. They only have 1 blocker left and 1 life. So let's go ahead and swing for 7. We draw a card from the effect. They 2k, 1k to get out of it. Well, now they only have 1 card in hand. Okay, well, that means 7, 7, 7 is good game. Right. That means actually, excuse me, they will draw 1 card from that. So, you know, this is a little risky here, guys. It is a little risky, that's for sure. I could have played a little bit more defensively here and not swung out. I could have just swung everything into their Venus Juro and played for next turn by playing out Hack or something along those lines. But we're going all in here, guys. We swing for 7. I think I should have swung for 8 and then 9 technically for the highest chance for lethal. But they did not have it. Remember, guys, I still know they have the 1k counter in hand, and then they only got a 1k from the top. Okay, if that had not gone through, by the way, guys, they only had the, the 3 cards left. I was just going to play out a hack, and I was just going to hope for the best. Now, luckily, it looks like we did have a 2k counter in our life and a 1k counter, so we would have had 2 2ks and then a 2k and a 1k coming out of life. So we should have been able to. We wouldn't have had to block. Let me say it like this, guys. We didn't have to go all in. We had 2 blockers. We had 2 life, and we even had another blocker in our hand. So we could have played for another turn here, but that would have been kind of dangerous, seeing as how they do have the Saturn Searcher in their hand. Okay, good game to my opponent. Let's move on to the next one. This is actually the last game here, guys, versus Red Blue Ace. Okay, let's get the speed on 2x, volumes off, and here we go. Okay, Red Blue Ace, guys. This is a tough matchup here for everyone, but it does have, there might be one leader that's good against it, but y'all know what I mean. This is a very tough matchup here with Red Blue Ace. You have to know what you're doing for sure. But I think Koala can deal with Ace pretty well by burning up their hand. So we play out the Emporio Ivankov, filling up our trash there. We're stuck going first this game. They're going to play out a Marco. Okay, seems good. We'll play out a Karasu, and we're just going to pass the turn. We can't do anything with this, so we're going to pass the turn. They're going to play out a Yamato. Looks like they're probably going to swing for 7 and then maybe 7 more. So they swing for 7. I think I'm just going to use this Emporio Ivankov. The other option is I could keep it active and protect my Karasu next turn when I go to attack. They play out a Marco. They're going to do some, or excuse me, a Garp, and they're going to do some searching. I'm going to play out this. I'm going to play out the Kuma on curve, gaining a life, trashing my 6-cost Sabo, so I can play that next turn. Okay, swinging in for 6 here, guys. This is going to make it where they have to discard a card because of the Karasu effect. And we have 1 Dawn active to save our characters with the Waxing Fist. Other than that, though, guys, we only have 3k counter in hand. We don't have a lot of counter in hand. They're going to block out with the Marco. So, guys, I just made them trash a card, and then they drew 3 cards back. Seems pretty good. They're going to play out the Edward Newgate off of the 8-cost event, but that's going to make them trash a card from my leader's effect, and then they took another life card from the I Am Whitebeard effect. They're down to 1 life, guys. They lost 2 life on their own turn. Okay, that's fine. So now we're on a 9 Dawn turn. We're just going to kind of go for the board here, I think, guys. I'm going to swing for 7 into this Yamato, I believe. Okay, I think they should probably 2K counter out. Yeah, same thing. They use leader effect, and then they also cash in on the Ezo to fix their hand. Seems good. We're going to play out the Monkey D Dragon. We're going to play out this Sabo here. We're going to attack in for 6 into 8 just to draw a card. It didn't matter, by the way, guys, that we attacked. Like, we could have attacked into the Yamato, but they just block out with Edward Newgate. It doesn't even matter. Okay. Here we go. So we do have a blocker. We have the Kuma on the board, which, okay, they bounce that back to our hand, and they pull back the Garp. Then they hit us with a Pudding. Wombo comboed us right there, guys. Seems good. Let's see how many cards we had in our hand real quick, guys. Hang on a second. Let's see this. Yep, so we had 8 or 9 cards in hand from him bouncing the card back. They hit us with a Pudding. Incredible tempo play. They have 1 life. They have a blocker. They're in no jeopardy of losing this game. They'll swing for 6. We'll take that. They do not swing in with the Edward Newgate. That seemed like the right call there, but luckily we did draw into a dragon, so we should be okay here. We're not in the greatest spot in the world, but we're in a decent spot. Okay, so we do a Koala search. We purposefully do not grab the Kuma, right? We were not getting that. We want to play that out with the dragon. Okay, 8 into 6 here. Let's see what they choose to do. Letting it go is crazy. I'm not going to lie. Why not just block out with the Edward Newgate there? I'm not sure. You guys tell me. We swing in for 6 with our leader. Then they go ahead and block out. And then, I'm not going to lie, guys. Even if they had not let it go, we would have just attacked more and more into it. So I guess maybe it made sense to. Whatever the case, they chose to let that card go. Maybe they're low on counter power. Who knows? We play out the dragon, cheating out the Kuma, gaining a life, and trashing a brick from our hand. All right, we do have a 1-cost event here, but we can't use it because we only have 1 Dawn. Okay, 8 into 8, that's not going to do. We're going to counter out of that. 8 more into 8. Okay, here's another 1K. And does he want to turn the Edward Newgate sideways? Nope. Instead, he'd rather use Red Rock to get rid of my Kuma. Seems good. Okay, does he want to turn that Edward Newgate sideways? The answer is no, he does not. The answer is no, he does not. I think we have to go for the board here. Going for life, I mean, okay, excuse me, 8 into 6 does require the biggest investment from their hand. This will probably be met with a, okay, leader effect, and then a 1K. Very nice. 8 more. Okay, does he want to use the Edward Newgate here? If he uses the Edward Newgate, we can go for the Jozu. 2K, 1K. So we've gone through 4 cards now, guys. So we're going to play out the Sabo, attaching, and now we have 2 6-cost Sabos on the board. We get to attach 2 Dawn to our leader for free here. We're going to swing in for 8. Let's see if they choose to block out. They do choose to block out. Now we're going to go 9 into 7, and this will cost 2 more cards from hand. They let it go and draw a card. Okay, very good. So we cleaned up their board. We're at 3 life. We're in a very good position. We didn't want to go for life here, guys, because just in case they have, just in case they have a Roger play here, maybe. Yeah, we just don't want to take that. Okay, they play out an Edward Newgate. Well, guess what? That's going to cost them a life from our leader's effect. All right, that's fine. We're fine with that. Okay, so right here, we're going to swing for 6 into their leader. Now, watch this, guys. We have a play set up for our opponent here. We have a play. What would y'all do in this situation, guys? Pause. Let me pause for a second, and pause if you need any extra time. What would you guys do in this situation? Remember, they just played out the 10-cost Edward Newgate. Nothing on my board can attack other than my leader, unless I trash 2 cards from my hand. So what would you guys do in this situation? Now, again, pause if you need more time, so I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to keep the pressure on. I'm going to attach 1 Dawn to my leader, and then I'm swinging all out with one of these dragons on the board, and then I'm going to go from there. Okay? Because yes, they can play out the 10-cost Roger here, but on the next turn, they're obviously setting up for next turn, right, guys? They're setting up for next turn to go for lethal. We are going to swing for 6 into 6. That's going to let us draw a card. And now watch this, guys. I'm going to attach 8 Dawn. 1 Dawn still active for my 1-cost event. I'm going to go 16 into 6. Okay, so he's going to have to He's going to have to block, leader effect, and then 2K, 2K. Or excuse me, 2K, 1K to get out of this. That's 3 cards from hand. And now I'm just going to pass the turn back. Hey, your turn, right? Your turn. I have 3 life, guys. I have 3 life, and I have 3 cards in hand. They are going to make a desperation play here, guys. I hate to spoil it, but they're going to make a desperation play because this is their only chance. Yep, they swing for 6. Okay, well, I have a 2K for that. Now it doesn't matter. They're going to go 12 into 8. Yeah, I think right here we can just literally let it go. It doesn't matter, right? We can take all the rest of these hits. We'll take that. They pass it back. Okay, well now we are going to go super aggressive into them. 8 into 6, this is going to cost 2 cards from hand no matter what because they have no Dawn active. Okay, 8 more to 6, this will be 2 more cards from hand. Okay, now 8 into 6 is going to force the block, and then 8 into 6 is going to win us the game. Okay, we load up, GG to our opponent. That was a fun one. Red Blue Ace, very tough matchup. A lot of the OP-13 leaders, very tough matchups, obviously. Okay, good game to all of my opponents. That was a lot of fun there. Black Yellow Koala, guys. I mean, it's hanging in there with the best of them. Just to put things into perspective, I put in about 6 or 7 games on the sim against leaders like what we just saw there, and I got my 3 wins. So I think I went about like a 40% win rate or so. Wait, not very good at math, I guess. We got 3 wins out of like 7 games. It was something along those lines, maybe 8 games. I think I had to adjust the deck early on to like fix it a little bit. But I think once the deck was right here, what you see it, I think we were able to get the 3 wins we needed out of about 6 or 7 games. Something like that. Again, I can't remember exactly. Whatever the case is, the leader is really cool. I'm not sure what is needed to take this deck to the next level. And guys, what do y'all think about this leader moving forward in OP-13? I think it's going to be decent. We can burn up life. Maybe if we build the deck as defensively as possible, let them burn up their own life. And then if we can just keep attacking their hand with cards like Karasu and Nico Robin, and then just flood the board with Dragon, it makes sense to me, guys. It's making sense in my head. What do you guys think? Who here's, is anyone in the chat? Is anyone in the comment section playing Black Yellow Koala? What list is working out for you guys? Please share it down in the comment section below. I want to know what you guys think about it. But yeah, I'm a big fan of this color combo, so I'm still trying to make this deck work, guys. I did get my 4 Kumas in the mail the other day, so I'm probably going to try to play this at a locals as soon as I can get around to playing in one. We'll have to see what happens. But yeah, that's about all I got for you guys today. I do think that Koala has some potential as like an off-meta style deck. Because, guys, against Imu, they have the 10-cost character. That's going to burn up a life when they try to play that out with our leader effect. Red Blue Ace has a lot of 8-cost to 10-cost characters. It's going to burn up their life. Any type of go-wide deck that's trying to cheat out characters off of characters, you're burning up life. So, again, guys, if we can just kind of stabilize by gaining life, eating up their hand, and then flooding the board, well, that's kind of a recipe for success as far as I'm concerned. One thing I do wish that this deck had that Red-Black Sabo has is I wish we had one more searcher. Actually, Red-Black Sabo has like 4 searchers, right? Because it has, let me type in Revo real quick, guys. Hang on one second. If you look at like Red and Black, so Red and Black has Bello Betty searcher, they have the Garp searcher, and then they also have the stage search. So legitimately, Red-Black Sabo has 3 other search options, right? Like we have access to Koala and Captain's Assemble. Well, Red-Black Sabo has access to Koala and Captain's Assemble and Bello Betty and what else was it? They have access to the Bello Betty, the stage, and the Garp. So, you know, that's what really takes it a step further for Red-Black Sabo, I think. I think Red-Black Sabo is slightly better is what I'm getting at with this, guys. I think it's slightly better because they have access to so much better searcher power. And since they have access to all those little searchers, like the Koala, like the Garp, and like the Bello Betty, well, now all of a sudden, guess what? This card right here, Stussy, all of a sudden, this card's insane, right? Because you have all these little 1-cost characters you can just get rid of and KO their biggest character. So that is something. I wish that Black Yellow Koala had one more searcher, like a 1-cost yellow searcher that could search up my Revo army cards. I don't know. Am I missing one, guys? Maybe I'm not thinking of anything. Let me bring up Revo one more time. I don't think I'm missing anything. For Black Yellow, there's not even a 1-cost Revo army yellow card in the game. Other than this event right here. Don't underestimate a miracle. Oh, well, we'll work with it for now, guys. This deck was a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. It's not going to be the cheapest deck in the game, that's for sure, because of Bartholomew Kuma. However, I think it's going to be a very fun deck that can see some pretty good off-meta success, especially in a local setting. I think it's going to see a pretty good off-meta success for you wherever you take it, especially if you can make enough adjustments to make it good enough into the OP-13 format. All right, guys, that's all I got for y'all today. Let me get the outro on here. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Guys, if you are liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing my stuff, using my TCG Player affiliate link, if you're donating through Patreon or PayPal, if you're a Playmat supporter, a YouTube member, or part of the Discord community, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Quick little announcement at the end here, guys. Tomorrow, we're going to be having a stream. I stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 9 p.m. Eastern to 12 a.m., right? And tomorrow we're doing like a early birthday stream for me because my birthday is going to be on the 30th and I don't stream on Thursdays. Okay, so we're going to be having a birthday stream for me tomorrow here on YouTube. So be sure to hang out. We'll have a good time. We're going to have another box opening. Let me pull that over real quick, guys. I'm going to have another PRB box opening. It's just meant to be a fun, good time. Okay, so be sure to stop by and hang out if you can. What else? So that I wanted to mention that, and one more thing I want to mention is we will also be doing a pre-release guide for OP-13 very soon. Okay. All right, I'm done. Hope you enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Until next time, peace.